Hey you guys, we are on the third day of our DGP, our daily grammar practice. We're still working with that same sentence. The dust particles are actually tiny scales. So for our day 3, our big objectives are that we need to identify the clauses, the sentence type, and the sentence purpose. Now, as I mentioned last week, we will talk more about independent and dependent clauses later in the year. So for now, I'm still just going to give you the clauses of our sentence. This sentence has one clause that we drew brackets around to show that this is our clause. And since it is a complete sentence by itself, it is an independent clause. So I want you, whether it's on your own Google Slide copy that you got through Google Classroom, or if you have the paper copy, I want you to draw the brackets around the sentence and then write that it is an independent clause. Okay, so if our sentence only has one independent clause, we should be able to determine the sentence type. So if you go over to your big scary packet, which some of us have a paper copy of, and others you can find the reference material in Google Classroom. If you scroll down or flip to the third day of notes and you look at sentence types, there are 3 possible sentence types we could be dealing with this year: simple sentences, compound sentences, or complex sentences. So knowing that we only have one independent clause for this sentence, well, this has to be a simple sentence, which we'll mark with an SS, which makes sense. S for simple and then S for sentence. So going back to our copy, whether it is on Google Slides or on paper, we're just going to put SS. Now, the next thing we have to do is find the sentence purpose. And this one's always a little bit tricky. So if you go back to your big scary packet and you look for sentence purpose, there are 4 main purposes. One is declarative, and you can read here that it makes a statement and ends in a period. Next, we have interrogative sentences, which ask questions and end in a question mark. We have imperative sentences, which give commands and end in a period. And then finally, we have exclamatory sentences, which express strong feelings and end in an exclamation point. Now, our sentence here, the dust particles are actually tiny scales. Is this asking a question? No. So since it's not asking a question, we can rule out that it is not interrogative. Is our sentence, the dust particles are actually tiny scales, is this giving a command? Is this commanding you to do something, like to pick up your shoes or pack your lunch? No, it's not giving us a command, so we can rule out that this is also not an imperative sentence. So that leaves either declarative or exclamatory. Now, do we think that this sentence is expressing strong feelings? No, I wouldn't say that this sentence is expressing strong feelings. So we can eliminate exclamatory sentences. And that just leaves declarative sentence for us. So you go all the way, well, I guess the big scary packet for physical paper copy, you can flip to that purple page, which has all of the different abbreviations. But for declarative, we just do DEC. All right, so we finished this slide. We found the clauses, we found the sentence type, and we identified the sentence purpose. Now finally, if we click to our last slide, you can read at the bottom in the speaker notes that we are going to rewrite the sentence with correct capitalization and punctuation. So on this third day of DGP, when we're rewriting it, those are the 2 main things we're going to edit for: capitalization and punctuation. We don't have to worry about spelling. Spelling will always be correct. So at the beginning of this sentence, we always capitalize the first letter. So we'll capitalize the T in the word the. Dust particles are actually tiny scales. Okay, so I don't need to worry about the spelling of any of that. This one's pretty simple. We need to capitalize the beginning of our sentence, and what do we need at the end of our sentence? Well, we need some sort of ending punctuation. Now, we have already determined that this is a declarative sentence, and declarative sentences end in what kind of punctuation? Declarative sentences end with periods. So we'll put a period there, and bada bing, bada boom, we got it done, you guys. All right, and just be sure that if you are using the slides, go ahead, you can hit share with me. If you've been in school, you can do it on your paper copy and just bring it back to me when you return. If you have chosen remote and would just prefer to write it down on a piece of paper and take a picture and send it to me, that's totally fine too. Okay, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.